This is an honest review of the Diamondback 180. Pros of this cover are it's very well made. I like the solid diamond pattern. I like the way it looks. It locks really well. I like having access on the sides, but it does have some cons. It is one piece, which means if you want to remove it, you're going to have to take it off in one piece. And to remove it, you're going to have to undo some bolts, and you're going to have a place to store a large cover like this. Now it does also lock, and it comes with keys. So here's our handle here, and we can go ahead and open this side. We have our little hydraulics there and a pull handle. So let me talk about the installation, because it is fairly difficult to install. Now, your first bracket is going to be up here. This plate does not come drilled. You're going to have to drill the holes into that plate, and you're going to have to mount it to your truck by drilling holes into your truck. If you have a Line X or other bed liner that covers the spot, well, you're going to have to deal with that as well. Once you have that installed, there are two clamps here. They just go ahead and clamp the cover down on the front. Moving towards the back, you also have location here where it is bolted down, and you can see that I had to cut out the bed covers there, the plastic covers. I used a Dremel for that. And of course, we have the same thing on this side. And keep in mind, if you've got those caps, they're going to have to be trimmed to allow this to be installed. Now, the way you do this is you're going to be drilling into your truck with a carbide bit. They give you a self-tapping screw. I didn't feel like that worked very well. I just went ahead and drilled it myself. And then you're going to have to install some rivets in there, and they give you a tool to install the rivets. Basically a bolt that goes in there, expands the rivet after you put it in. Then you can put your threaded bolt in there and your washer, and you're good to go. Let's take a look at the front, because we also have two brackets up here in the front. So these are L brackets. I had to get these true, bend them a little bit to get them to 90. They were a little bit off, and they're pre-drilled, but these slats are just slightly thicker than the bolts. So if you are off by 1/8 of an inch, you're not going to be able to get these in here unless you widen these channels out. Also, the directions tell you to install this slightly, well, they tell you basically to put it flush with the bed of the truck here, but you can see that this actually had to be raised up much higher. Reason for that is this is our place where we hold our locking mechanism. So you can see how this works here. That's going to go in and go under right here to prevent this from being opened. And then we've got more bolts here. I wasn't able to get that one in. I missed it, so I left it there. 3 was enough to hold it. But yeah, this is very difficult to get this lined up perfectly, and to get everything in there. And you also want to put it a little bit higher than you think that it needs to be. Now, as for the locking mechanism, you can see you can adjust it there and move it left and right. Additionally, you can adjust the hex key here and slide that and adjust the length of your bars. And of course, we've got our pull handle here. So let's take a look at the cover with everything opened up. And you can see you're always going to have this strip down the middle, kind of restricting the access of the bed in that area. And then getting in and out of the bed, you're going to have to climb up over this this piece here. So it just depends on what type of access you want. This gives you full access to the sides. The other covers that open forward and backward are giving you access to those areas and kind of restricting the middle a little bit. But they're also a lot easier to install, easier to remove, because there are multiple pieces. Now, this particular cover was a factory second. It was defective, and I'll show you why here in just a second. Go ahead and get this locked in. Okay, right here you can see that this is warped. And I think the reason for that is because it's all manufactured out of one solid piece. I think you have a better chance of warpage when you have such a large one piece structure going on here. But I was able to get it at 66% off because of this issue here. And they said it might not seal, but as you can see here, I got to clean it out because I just put the cover on and now I've got to make it nice and clean inside. But I've got no water intrusion anywhere. Everything is dry, and it's been raining all day here, so it's actually still raining a little bit now. And that is the cover. If you've got a bed liner, you might have to worry about getting some of that out of the way so that you can have room for that front bracket and for these side brackets if that's also lined as well. I just had the bed rug, so I was able to peel it back, and I'm just going to push it back up when I'm done. Still got to attach the bolts there on the back. Everything comes in this starter kit. Got they give you bolts and stuff. They didn't give me enough bolts, and I had them overnight me some more. They also give you some weather stripping you can put around there. I didn't use that. And manuals and installation stuff, typical stuff like that. Let me take a walk over here and I will show you the toolbox, which I also bought. That was an option with this cover, which was also in the outlet area, and you can see it there. It's called a side bin, so I was able to get that as a significant discount as well. I'm assuming somebody bought all this stuff together and ended up returning it because it was warped. And this is the toolbox. Sits in that area and just kind of rest in there on these lips, the one on each side. It's very well made. It's made out of aluminum. It's not terribly heavy. Probably weighs about 10 pounds. I'm not sure if I would want to put hundreds of pounds of tools in it because it is really only supported at these lips here. But it definitely is a nice place to put things that you need to get to quickly. And of course, you open that door and everything is right there in front of you. So I'd say it's a good option. It's larger than I thought it was, and probably wouldn't feel comfortable putting a lot of my heavy tools in there. But screwdrivers, toe straps, things, tie downs, things like that, it's a good place to put them, and it's good for that purpose. So give you one last look at the cover and we'll close it out. All right, so there she is. Like I said, I think it looks great, but it does have some drawbacks. If you're someone that's going to need to be taking your cover on and off quite often, I don't recommend this. If you're not comfortable drilling holes in your truck and getting things lined up perfectly, I also don't recommend it. And if your needs require you to have access down center line of your truck or climbing in and out of the bed a lot, climbing over this is going to get old. So that's something to keep in mind as well. So that is the Diamondback 180.